Hi guys, Wayne's Butler here. Well, I guess we're going to call this the reveal vid. Although the last couple, I know I keep talking about this reveal vid like it's going to be the last one. It's my channel, I guess. I can do as many videos as I want on this figure, and I just might, because it is awesome. Brian brought me a figure that's, was way beyond what I was expecting. I did do a little bit of tweaking here and there, but that's just the way I am. I can't leave well enough alone. But I mean, this is Brian's figure. This is Brian's creation, and my love goes out to him. My thank goes out to him. I know I can be a little bit pushy at times. I know with this figure it wasn't quite as easy as the first one. So hope Brian will forgive me for that. And but it's good. I mean, that's what friendship's all about, right? Anyways, let's get into the figure. Well, we'll start with the diorama. And I have been talking about doing lighting, which you don't really see here. I did experiment with some, I was going to put a lamp on each side of the two uprights beside the gate here. A little bit too insignificant. And they didn't really provide any actual lighting of the figure, so I just thought it was kind of a moot point. And to be honest with you, I'm just lazy. This diorama really beat me up. I've been working on this thing probably, between the diorama and everything else. But it's that's why I do what I do, because that gives me something to do. I like to be occupied with things, and I enjoyed. Maybe not initially, when I first started this gate here. If we go into the slideshow, the very first picture is this gate already built. Now, what I normally do when I build dioramas, I typically do drawings full scale first, and then I transfer that to wood so I can work out dimensions and everything on the paper. Because I was like a 3-year-old kid, because I wasn't getting my quarter, I wanted to do a quarter scale horse and have smoke come out its nose, and LED lights and stuff like that, and it was just too costly and too long a venture to get into. So I was like a 3-year-old kid who didn't get his horse. So I went into this gate kind of angry and thinking, I don't know if I'll even do the damn thing. So I just was sitting at my backyard and I started cutting these wood and thinking, well, if I'm going to do a gate, this is kind of how I would do it. And once I started doing it, it was kind of turning out. So it was once I got the gate done, I'm thinking, geez, I should be taking pictures, because like I said, I didn't even know if I would even finish that, so I don't know if that was confusing to anybody in the slideshow. And as you can tell here, now that the figure's standing in front of it and everything's done, this gate, again from the slideshow, I made this gate, because I didn't do plans, 6 inches too tall. That's what I normally do. I usually make things too big. Same thing with the Bruce Wayne door. I made that way too tall, but because I drew it out, I caught it. But so that's why I had to cut it down and kind of rebuild it. So that's kind of explain that part of the slideshow. And the rest And as far as the figure here, like I said, I'm doing a bit of tweaking on it here and there. But I mean, it's fantastic. I'm like completely blown away. I'm blown away by Brian's paintwork. The jacket here, it's a feat of engineering how he put this jacket. I couldn't have done the jacket, to be honest with you. I couldn't have done it, or I would have been so intimidated by what he done here that I probably wouldn't have started it. So my hat goes off to Brian for everything that he's done for me here. So let me give you a little bit closer up shot here. We'll first start with the front. Working our way down. So, as you can see, I did do a bit of tweaking on the mask. It is still the same mask with Brian's design. I just basically just pulled it back a little bit and just gave it a little bit different of a paint job, and added some of the stitching. Now you're going to see when I go left and right of this figure, you're going to see some more of the stitching. As you know, this isn't burlap, but I really wanted to accentuate the grid pattern, and I really think it works. Compared to the burlap, like I said before in my last video, the burlap is just too fuzzy, because it's 1-to-1 fuzzy. It's not quarter scale fuzzy, if that makes any sense. So I think this fabric, like I said, even though it's not burlap, it was probably the best choice. And I tried to paint it to make it look like burlap. There's probably about 3 or 4 different shades of brown here. You know, if I can't have burlap, I was going to try my hardest to make it look like burlap. Like I said, Brian started out with the basic design, and like I said, I just tweaked it, worked on the mouth a little bit, and like I was just saying a minute ago, the jacket work is just, you know, like I said, a feat of engineering. I couldn't have done it. And, you know, like I said in the unboxing, I did, let's see if I'll focus here. I did redo some of the strapping. Well, actually redid all the strapping. Something that just had a little bit smaller of a grommet. See it there. But I used Brian's design, the same length, you know, buckles, everything. So, you know, I don't like to go in. I know we've had conversations about, you know, messing with people's art, but I really hope Brian doesn't mind that I did do a few tweaks on it. I think he knew I was going to anyways, because him and I have had many long conversations. You know, there's a lot of love and respect between both of us, so, you know, not much more I can say on that. But anyways, let me zoom out. Pause in here for a minute. And so here we are at the side. Again, we'll give you a bit of a close-up on the mask. Side shot here. Focus. So you can see where I basically just took where Brian had put all the stitching lines. I just basically add the external stitching. Now I can, nobody in their right mind would probably do this because to be quite honest with you guys, it was labor intensive like you wouldn't believe. I put every single one of those stitches on, both sides, the back. Not much lighting back here, but hopefully this camera is good enough. But you know, I kept a lot of what Brian has done. You know, I try to respect what he'd done here, but like I said earlier, guys, I'm the person, I can't leave well enough alone. But yes, I put every one of those stitches on it. It was the payoff. That's how I was looking at it. I was looking at the payoff. But while I was doing it, going, oh, it's going to take me forever. But again, without it being burlap, you know, they kind of stand out. But you know, as you can see, it has a grid pattern. It's got the color of burlap, so it works. You know, it works for me. And quite frankly, that's the only person that needs to be pleased here is me. So I'm going to do whatever I have to make sure that I'm pleased, because I have to look at this figure every day. And what a figure it is. I mean, I keep the straight jacket. I mean, just what Brian had done here. Again, like I was saying there a second ago, I put each one of those grommets in, 16th inch grommets, all the way around. Again, took forever. But, you know, it's the love of this hobby. I don't know if you can see that. I got a rod up the back of the pant like I had talked about earlier. It doesn't really, well, it doesn't really need, it's more of an insurance. This body isn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be. Yeah, the ab joint is a little loosey-goosey, but thankfully the legs are good and stiff. This figure probably could have stand without that rod, but obviously I'm not going to take that chance because it is a little bit tippy if you push on it. And the other thing Brian included, you can see it there, the little gas nozzle. I actually have something planned for that in the future. So like I said, this isn't going to be the last video you'll see on this figure. Like all my dioramas, I'm gonna, you know, I pick at them, I add to them, I change things. So all my dioramas are basically work in progress. So I'm going to just zoom around to the other side. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we are on this side. I call this side the money shot. because this is the side of the mast that I actually like the look of the best. I mean, it looks pretty close to the Hot Toys one, you know, in my opinion. Again, look at this jacket. He's got all the right tears. The weathering job is fantastic. Excuse me, guys. Like I said, I had the belt. They're coming through a little brighter on this view screen than they actually are, but they are a different material than the jacket. Like in the actual movie jacket, they are a little bit of a different color, just because they are a different material. And you know, just the paintwork, you know, so realistic. So realistic, Brian. There's a certificate, 1 of 1. Like the first one, something tells me he's not going to do another one. Again, like I said, I drove him a little crazy on this one. I feel kind of bad, but you know, he knows I love him and respect him, so that's all that matters. Another shot of the gate. Get around the front here if I can get this without any shadow. The suit, you know, he's weathered all the pant leg and everything. I don't normally do videos from this angle, so I'm curious to see how this is going to upload. But that's the first reveal vid. Like I said, I got some things planned with that skirter in the arm, but like I said, I'll be picking and poking at this diorama itself here in the coming weeks, months, whatever. I have no idea in the house where it's going. Like I keep saying, I really don't have any idea where it's going. It's basically going to sit right where it's sitting right here until further notice. You know, I'll figure it out. It'll be going on a shelf on the wall, kind of like the last one. That I kind of know right now, but where in the house I have no idea. But anyways, guys, Saturday afternoon up here in Canada. I want to thank everybody for the last 2 videos, for your attention, your love, and most importantly, Brian. Without Brian, none of this could have happened. Thanks, Brian, for your continuing inspiration. I'm going to be leaving you alone for a while, don't worry. That's the other reason why I kind of just stopped this diorama. I spent a lot of money on this, but you know, the finished result kind of speaks for itself. Anyways, guys, thanks everybody. Wings Butler signing off. Peace and love to all.